Welcome back friends. So let's try to see the debugging console in the web browser, and I will be using a Google Chrome Devtools to show you the example of this debugging into the Google Chrome, and that will just change the way that you think in your VS Code, and both are different environment. Please try to understand this thing. So I will show an example how exactly they are different from each other. So I will take an example of the browser DevTools, and coming up here friends, you will see that this DevTools has just simple thing that I have to write a code here. So I will take that example from the last code that I've taken example. So I will use a debugger. On the top friends, I'm writing a debugger here, so I can't put any debugger pointer here. So I just use debugger and I execute this code. Now what I learned from this code execution friends, I learned about that whenever I need to have any things on the left hand side, see a scope, right? And in my case friend, you can see a global scope and a call stack. So this is a scope section. So when I click on the scope section friends, I can see I have one scope that's the global as of now. Under the global scope friends, you will see that I have multiple things that I can see, but as of now I don't have any concern about my global scope. My already concern is that I need to see variable a where it actually exists, right? So this variable a that I'm talking about, where this variable a exists, right? So let's try to see and do inside one step. So when come inside one step friends, now this if block will be getting executed and I will see how exactly the scopes are changing. And remember friends, I learned about this scope that this scope actually helps you out to get a block scope variable a, right? Let's just get inside this thing, and when I come inside friends, you will see now there's a block scope getting created, right? And that's just the same thing. So this if is was a local scope when I use that Node.js environment in VS Code, and coming up here in the Google Chrome I'm using DevTools where actually that is exactly a block scope, right? This is just a simple thing change friends. I don't have any issue with that. The things are going to work fine totally. Now this block scope has a variable a and that value is unavailable as of now. And remember friends, I told about one error, right? When I was talking about the error in my code, why I didn't got an error, because I was thinking about the DevTools. Now let's try to see how exactly the code works in this environment, right? Remember, this is going to be different from the way that I have debugged in my VS Code. As of this, friends, I can see the const variable a is actually declared, right, after I'm printing the variable a value. And remember, friends, this is not going to happen, right? This can't be done. I cannot get undefined as printed, although I'm trying to get that value, but I will get an error for this particular line because I cannot access the variable until unless it is not defined. So when I try to do this thing friends, you will see that Kuldeep, I'm getting the variable a getting printed on 10. That is working totally fine, right? That's all. So how come this is different from the way that you thought of, and why it is not working now in that way, right? So that is totally friends. I don't have any issue with that. So that is totally working, right? So it makes sense. Now why it is working? Why in your case it is working friends? So let me tell you friends, I already executed the code. So let's try to execute once again by taking a control shift R or refresh, right? Let's do a back again. Now friends, again a same code, but after doing a control shift R on the window, let's try to see what happens. I come into the picture friends, I have a global scope, I go inside in the condition, I click, and friends, this is going to print the value of a. That's what I thought of. Friends, when I try to do this thing, I'm getting the error, right? So what is the error friends? You can see unquote reference error. It says cannot access a before initialization, right? So remember friends, now this is what I was talking about, that variable cannot be accessed before initialization, right? Even though the variable was seen, right, I was able to see the variable. I will show you again to make concentration on that variable declaration again, right? So click here and just do execute the code. You will see in the global scope I have nothing as of now. When I get inside this block, you will see another block getting created where a is unavailable, right? So friends, understand this thing very carefully. The variable a is there, exactly it is there, but when I try to get the variable a value, you can still see value is unavailable. In that case, the value was actually undefined. I hope so friend, you understood that case, right, where the value was undefined. In my current case, this is unavailable, right? So if the variable value is unavailable, I cannot print the value. And when I try to print the value friends, the value is unavailable, I will simply get a reference error, right? This is thing saying that cannot access a before initialization, right? That's what I want to show you up. So friends, remember this thing. This is different the way that I've shown example in the previous Node.js environment, right? Remember this thing. Thank you.